Alright, for this video, we're going to kind of show you how to get in and do a step-by-step on how to save your courses. Now again, I'm really not going to focus on our active ones. I'm going to show you how to get to your previous courses from previous years and so forth. But for any of this, so a lot of the steps that will apply for that will apply to your active ones because they're kind of easy to get to. But the first thing you need to do is every resource out there tells you need to click on your resources tab. Inside your resources tab, you need to click this little icon right here which says add collection. When you do that, you want to create collections for your different courses you're planning on saving and then exporting in a few minutes. So, for instance, I've got one for TSS, which is Tennessee Student Success course, which was a course me and a couple other teachers built a couple of years ago. So I definitely want to save that because that was a built from scratch course. My sales course, which will basically be my sales stat course, and then my Algebra 2 course itself, and I'm going to go ahead and pull my Algebra 1s from years ago. So I'm going to go ahead and add a collection and say one for Algebra 1. Because I have taught these different courses over the years. So I basically want to grab a copy out of these in a minute from my archives, and then from here, this is going to be where you get to actually pull the download to in a specialized file to shift it over to the other LMS system. And the good news is this is more of a universal style LMS download file, so it will work on a variety of different systems, including hopefully our new one from Synergy. So once you've got your different collections ready to go, you want to go up here and click on your courses. Inside your courses, again, here are your active ones, but instead I'm going you to go ahead and click on My Courses. My Courses is where you got to go. Once you're in My Courses, again, you've got a list of your active ones where you can pull this year's information from that and save it. But you need to hit your archive. Archive is where all your previous year courses are at. So these are the ones you need to go in and take an inventory of and figure out which ones you want to save on things. Get a copy of all of these if you need to. So here's what you want to do. I'm going to stick with the Algebra 1 course for now. I haven't taught it in a couple of year or so now, but I could wind up reteaching it again at some point. So what I want to do is, since both of these kind of have the same information in there that I've said, I'm going to click on my first one here. After I click on my first one, I got all my information here. So once I do that, I'm going to go into my options menu right here, and you need to go ahead and save your course to resources. And the reason why you created those folders a while ago was to go ahead and do this. So it'll say your collection is going to be you go into your collection, and then the collection you just created, which is the one I just did, is Algebra 1. Now, unless you have some subfolders in there, don't worry about it because all these will wind up going in there in its place. And then just hit Submit. Alright, as you can see, you now have a thing here at the top that shows you that it's being transferred right now. Sometimes it'll even email you when it gets it done. You can also click on your transfer history, and it'll say pending for now, but in a few minutes it should wind up being complete once it does that. So it can take a couple of minutes, it could take a little while for it to happen. It will alert you when it's done. So we'll come back once it's ready to go. It's now complete. So now that this is complete, we can now go over to our resources folder. Go into our Algebra 1 we created a while ago, and if you look, all your stuff's now there. So your next task is you're now ready to download this thing to its savable file. Once you're in your collection here for your Algebra 1, which is my example, go right here to this little arrow, and now you're ready to export. On your export, it's going to ask you, it's going to be that. It will tell you there's some things that don't go into exports. We'll deal with the biggest thing for that. So I want to go to my Algebra 1, which I just pulled, and I want to make sure and grab all of this. I'm going to collect the big folder itself, and then I'm going to hit Export. And again, your transfer thing will pop up, and it's currently working on it. So it's going to create it and bundle it up for you first, and then you'll be able to pull the download to save to your computer or your USB drive, or wherever you're going to store it at in a minute. So you want to go back to your transfer history, and again, it will email you when it's done. And as you notice, it will pop up with an extension IMSCC file. FYI, you cannot open these files up based on your computer. This is an import file that is designed for an LMS system like Canva or Schoology or our new Synergy system. So you'll definitely want to do that. It's called and so forth. So again, save it, and then it should be able to pull information there. Now again, will this be 100% foolproof? I'm going to be honest with you, it's not. So you should get most of your stuff. So as you can see, it says right here, it'll alert you when it tells you you're complete. So I'm going to refresh my page here. It will now say complete. And now you want to hit this little icon right here, and it says I want to download this file. It will download, and very likely it's probably going to wind up in your downloads folder. So it'll be in your downloads folder. From here, you can save it to here. You can shift it to wherever you need to do on this. One thing I do, if I'm pulling multiple of these course folders down, it's the same subject, is I'll create a folder and then put for Algebra 1, and I'll put all my Algebra 1 in there, one for Algebra 2, and so forth. So that will handle the bulk of what you need to download. Now, there is one little thing that sometimes it may be embedded here but may not import, and that is your tests. So, to help you with your test, I'm going to show you how to get to those and how to pull a PDF copy of those assessment outs, because if it doesn't transfer in, one, you'll at least have a PDF file of everything you've got. You can easily copy and paste and recreate it again. Or supposedly the system that we may be going to may have something built into it to where it may be able to read the PDF and create it if you need to. Not 100% sure on that one, like the rest of you were learning. So I'm going to go back in my courses here. I'm going back in archived. And then what I'm going to do, where my tests are at that we created individually, is actually in my TSS courses. So I'm going to pause here, and as soon as I find one, I'll come right back to it. In one of my OTSS courses for here, as you can see, I created a quiz right here for paying for college. So you have a couple of options you can do to get it downloaded. First, you'll need to go ahead and open it. Once you open it, usually it takes you to the results page, but for student privacy, since it's an old one, I went ahead and opened it up and put it on my questions page. You should see I just put 3 simple questions in here. They were subjective questions and so forth. You may have multiple choice. You can have a number of different things in here. But what you're interested in doing is this: to ensure you actually keep your questions and your answers all together. What you're going to want to do, click on this gear icon right here. And then you need to go ahead and print your tests. This will help you create your PDF file and so forth. You have different options here where you can fit questions to one page. You can fit one question per page and so forth. You make the option you want to do. I'm going to put everything just on one page here. And then once we do it, it'll open up another tab immediately for us to do a print off here. So again, since this was subjective, it's going to print these off and have blanks here listed. And then it will also give you an answer key on this. So if you have stuff that answers, you will have your answer key along with it. So once you get this here, you're ready to go up to your browser menu, and you want to go ahead and hit print. And in print, you do want to go ahead and use some type of Microsoft Print to PDF is usually the one installed on your thing. You need to get a PDF printer listed. Microsoft Print to PDF is usually installed in most of our computers. So you want to choose that as your printer. And then you may decide to take off the headers and footers for the web page and so forth. And then there you go. Just hit print. It will ask you where do you want to save this. And then again, if you go to your downloads folder, you can put it in there, and you can say, like I said, I'm going to call this TSS Paying for College Quiz. And then it'll make a PDF in your downloads folder. So it is now there. If you open up your downloads folder, it is now sitting here as a PDF file. So you now have it saved for you. So at this point, you can easily just copy and paste your questions back into the new system with their answers if you need to do a flat-out recreate of it, or if we have that possibility of that upload system that their web pages mentioned, we might be able to use that. So again, we will find out all together in the fall once the system is launched and we get a little bit more training on it. So hopefully this will help you on saving this. So what you'll need to do, you'll have to go in and find all your different quizzes in your course to do that. And again, you're doing this as a backup. So if you spend a little time now and the new system loses these quizzes or says it can't import them, at least you'll still have them to where you can get them back in there with a little bit less effort, hopefully. So again, hopefully this will help you on backing up your courses and then getting your testing quizzes saved as needed.